Somewhere in Seoul right now, a teenager is dancing in a mirrored room for the 8th hour of the day. She has been doing this for 3 years. She is not a performer yet. She may never be one. According to data compiled by the Korea Creative Content Agency, the average trainee at a major agency spends roughly 5 to 7 years in training before a debut, if a debut comes at all. Industry observers estimate that fewer than 1 in 10 trainees ever stand on a professional stage. So the question is not how K-pop produces its stars. The question is what happens to everyone else. The scale of the trainee pipeline is difficult to overstate. SM Entertainment, HYBE, JYP, and YG, the 4 largest agencies by revenue, collectively hold hundreds of trainees at any given moment, according to annual reports in industry press. The Korea Creative Content Agency reported that the domestic idol music market surpassed 4 trillion Korean won in annual revenue by the early 2020s. Yet the Korea Fair Trade Commission has documented that standard trainee contracts can bind young people for years with no guaranteed income and repayment clauses for training costs. A 2019 survey by the Korean Musicians Union found that a significant share of former trainees reported leaving without any formal career counseling or exit support. The pipeline is vast. The exit doors are narrow and largely unmarked. The trainee system did not emerge from nowhere. It was engineered. In the early 1990s, SM Entertainment's founder, Lee Soo-man, a widely documented figure in Korean music history, introduced a structured auditioning and cultivation model borrowed loosely from American talent academies, but pushed to a far more intensive extreme. The logic was straightforward. If you controlled every element of a performer's development, singing, dancing, language, image, media training, you could manufacture consistent, exportable product. The 1997 Asian financial crisis accelerated this. As the Korean government poured resources into cultural exports, through what became the Korean Wave policy, agencies competed to produce the most polished acts possible. Longer, more rigorous training became a competitive signal. The system was never designed around the trainee. It was designed around the debut. The personal cost lands heaviest on the trainees who never debut. The Korea Institute for Health and Social Affairs has documented elevated rates of anxiety and identity disruption among young Koreans who exit high-pressure performance tracks without a clear alternative path. Many trainees begin as young as 11 or 12, meaning they pass through critical educational years inside agency dormitories with limited schooling. When contracts end, sometimes abruptly, they face a job market having trained for nothing that transfers easily to a resume. Some agencies recover training costs from trainees upon exit, a clause the Fair Trade Commission has repeatedly scrutinized. The psychological weight of years of monthly internal evaluations, called monthly checks within the industry, leaves many former trainees describing a deep disorientation when the structure simply disappears. Korea did not invent the dream factory, but it industrialized it more completely than almost anywhere else. The trainee system is a precise mirror of a broader pattern. When a culture attaches enormous value to a single narrow outcome, it builds enormous infrastructure to pursue it, and quietly absorbs the cost of everyone who falls through. That pattern appears in South Korea's university entrance culture, in Japan's idol industry, in American youth sports academies. The machine always has more applicants than exits. What Korea's story adds is clarity. The structure is visible, documented, and increasingly debated inside the country itself. And that debate, not the debuts, not the revenue, may be the most important thing the industry produces. Reform does not come from the winners. It comes from asking what the system owes the rest.